Thad Duvall has done everything this season, except beat Caleb Russell. For the last 3 races, the West Virginia native has been seconds away from victory, only to fall short each time. Is today the day he takes the top billing on the podium? GNCC Racing is next on NBCSN. The Amsoil Grand National Cross Country Series is back on NBCSN. It's the Camp Coker Bullet, brought to you by CST Tires. I'm Jason Wygant. All the riders today competing for an AMA National Championship presented by Maxxis. Here's your Amsoil race recap. Our previous event in North Carolina, Josh Strang with a great hole shot here on the Rockstar Husqvarna. But Strang is still working his way back into shape after a foot injury slowed him at the end of last season. Russell's going to be able to get around him pretty quickly on the number 1 and go to work. The real challenge for Russell comes from Thad Duvall. These two have been chasing each other through the woods since they were kids, through the amateur ranks and now into the Premier XC1 division. Russell once again holds the edge at the finish. The 4-time GNCC champion still an unstoppable force, despite the best efforts of Duvall to get him week in and week out. Thad is getting frustrated with the runner-up rides.
Yeah, you know, with Caleb, I feel like he's definitely maybe a little stronger than me in some places, physically wise, and he can manhandle the bike a little bit better than me. And you know, that's when I go back to the drawing board and try to work on stuff like that. You know, I've been not cycling as much as I have been when I was in Florida the last couple months, getting prepared for the season. I've been in the gym a little bit more, trying to get a little bit stronger in some places, and it's hard for me to sit back and watch Caleb like that and you know, notice he's stronger in places than me. But for us to even gain a little bit at the speed we're going is a big step, and I felt like I've gained a little bit more speed the last 2 weeks with some testing, and you know, it's good. You know, I just gotta be stronger and be stronger towards the end of the race. I feel like I got the speed the whole 3 hours, just gotta manage it a little bit better.
Well, let's see who handles the start best here in Society Hill, South Carolina. And it's gonna be Strang again. Duvall right with him, a rare good start for Duvall. So the Rockstar Huskies up to the races, and you've also got Ricky Russell on the Ampro and Fab Yamaha there as well. So good job by the man out of the Pacific Northwest, but it's the Australian Strang into the lead, and now Chris Bach moving up into 3rd and shoving Duvall out of the way. So we asked the same question that we did last week. Does Strang have the health right now? Can he get through the 3 hours? We know he's fast. We know he has the skills. The man has won plenty of GNCC races, and he's the 2010 champion of this series. But the man in the 114 has been beset by a foot injury that has been lingering for months. So another test as we see Russell on the number 1, slicing his way through. And some trees here, just a quick reminder of what the race will actually be like. And a couple of riders down in a pile. Looks like Johnny Gerard there on the right, and Vance Francis, a privateer, on the left. We'll show it to you again. They're battling each other, and then they're battling the ground. And as I was saying, those trees are a preview of what the real racetracks here at GNCC are all about, as Duvall goes to work on Ricky Russell to take over 2nd. So it's a Rockstar Husky breakaway, 1 and 2, Strang and Duvall, with Caleb Russell, your defending series champ, and your points leader buried in the back. But don't let this dust or these open field sections fool you. This is woods racing. The majority of the action will be decided in the trees, and the dust will go away there too, because the shade keeps a lot more moisture in the soil. This will be an interesting run to see Duvall get this kind of a start, not normally known for being lightning quick out of the hole. Well, that's going to help him out. As for Strang, one of these weeks, it's all going to come back together for him physically, and he has all the other tools he needs. And you can tell this is fresh trail here. The rider's just guessing where to go. Ricky Russell coming through. Then it's Jordan Ashburn on the factory beta. And Caleb Russell in 5th. Trevor Bollinger, last year's champ of the XC2 division, That is your stepping stone class coming through next. And then there's Stu Baylor making some passes there. Baylor, the star of the early part of the season. He won our opener in South Carolina, hopes to do it again today. And here's your stepping stone class as mentioned, XC2. They are all chasing Josh Toth.
Going 4 in a row is what I hoped for, but I wasn't sure if it was totally realistic, but I'll just keep it going from here on out. Actually, they haven't been easy. The races were, every one of them was tough. I had to fight from the back of the pack the most of the way, so that was tough. None of them were easy so far.
And that's the big difference between this and motocross racing. 3-hour events to start. Not really as critical. You'll see the riders in a mad dash here to get the early lead. But even if you get it, there's going to be problems on this rough and rocky road. Hole shot, though, Chris Vendetti. Hot Cam's money coming his way, but then quickly overcome by Lane Michael on the Coastal Racing Husqvarna. He's one of the guys who has the speed to win. But it has all been running Toth's way so far this season. Michael had a knee injury just before the season began, so he, like Josh Strang in the XC1 division, trying to race his way back into health, race his way into shape. Mike Witowski second. He is always quick to the draw off the start. Nick Davis on the Beta is third. And where is Toth? He just came through, so 9th place. There he is. Got the white background on his plate. Everyone else has green. That indicates he's the points leader on the NFAB Ampro Yamaha. But like I said, the start not as critical here as it would be in a motocross race. Although if you're Thad Duvall, who now has the lead from Strang, it has to feel good. I think Duvall has burned a lot of energy in these races this year, trying to make passes early. Strang starting to go backwards here. Ricky Russell getting around him. So I've got to think that the foot injury and the resultant lack of bike time and fitness time still affecting the Australian. And he now has his arch rival, Caleb Russell, catching up to him. Russell, originally out of Ohio, now a North Carolina native, but he also owns some property now, the Russell Ranch down in Florida, and this sandy soil is so similar to what he has at his private facility down there. And over the years, we've seen Russell step up his game in a variety of ways. And even though he has this points lead and a win streak, gotta wonder where the motivation comes from. He says he's basically addicted to winning. In fact, Russell was once known as a guy who got by on talent as opposed to the hard work. But now that he's hooked up with Alden Baker, the famous motocross and supercross trainer for Ryan Dungey and the likes, Russell has actually become one of the fittest riders in this game, and now he's trying to work his way past Strang, and he's got him on these makeshift double jumps through the sand. Does this terrain not look awesome to come out here and whip around and just log some laps on? Obviously, Russell feeling good right now. Caleb is going after Ricky Russell for second.
When it comes to guarding your diesel engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance you demand. AMSOIL Signature Series diesel oils provide 6 times more wear protection than required by a leading diesel engine manufacturer. Give your hard-working truck the protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection. See the whole line of diesel products at amsoil.com/diesel.
As riders and racers, we understand the need to get quality parts, apparel, and accessories fast. We have the horsepower of multiple warehouses to make sure your gear, OEM parts, or accessories make it to your door quickly. Check out our easy-to-use website and experience customer service that takes the whole shot. RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
Here he is, Walker Fowler, Grand National Cross Country XC1 Pro Class Champion.
The GNCC series on the NBC Sports Network is brought to you by AMSOIL. Protect your weekend. Rocky Mountain ATVMC, get ready. And by Maxxis Tires, keeps you riding to your maximum potential.
one fast girl right here, the 7:13, the Australian Taylor Jones, coming over to GNCC Racing this year and continues her win streak. She is undefeated in a stacked WXC division. So far, 5 for 5 with another big win here in South Carolina. Last year's champion, Becca Sheets, gave it a good run, but finished up in second. So Sheets and the rest of the WXC class, they are left to do what Thad Duvall and everyone are trying to do with this man, Caleb Russell, and a win streak. And Duvall's in a great position for it with the big lead. But as I mentioned earlier in the show, when you have these long races, getting out to a good start, getting the early lead is helpful, but it is certainly not the entire race. At some point, Duvall's going to hit lap traffic. He's going to be running a pace all by himself, where Caleb Russell and Ricky Russell here, second and third, no relation. They are going to be charging. They are the hunters. It's a lot easier sometimes to come from behind than it is to lead from the front in a long race like this. Stu Baylor, fifth, trying to keep the heat on Jordan Ashburn. And Ricky Russell has been caught by those two. So a grade 3 rider battling. Stu Baylor just plowing, making his new lines through the trees. A nice little shortcut there, and that's all legal. The cool thing about GNCC, they hang some arrows in the trees, and they say you have to be either 25 feet to the left or 25 feet to the right, no further. So the track is actually 50 feet wide, so the riders can get creative, try to find smooth dirt and areas to pass. And it's really needed out here, these tight trees. You don't normally see these types of trail in cross country. This is more of an enduro race with all the single track. A lot different technique. You can't lean the bike over like a motocrosser and lay it over in the corners. You've got to be able to corner quickly, but the bike has to be straight up and down because you lay that thing over and you don't have room for the handlebars. And it's very much a less is more. Look at that. Oh, Russell, beautiful, as he flicks the bike to the left and right. Very much a less is more. If you try to charge too hard through here, it's actually slower. Ashburn, nice job on the factory beta. They seem to improve that bike every week. There's Stu Baylor on the SRT. KTM, a factory-supported effort, but not the full factory ride like Caleb Russell has. This battle is good. Ricky Russell, Ashburn, Baylor, all three of these guys would love a podium finish today. Back to XC2. Lane Michael continues to control it on his 250 four-stroke, but like Thad Duvall leading on the 350 in the big class XC1, he has got to be wondering, where is the dominator? Where's Josh Toff? Ashburn has taken over third in XC1 and now trying to sprint away. Man, that soil looks good. Great traction today. Ricky Russell has gotten it. He's gotten past, but he is still holding fourth ahead of Stu Baylor. What can Thad Duvall do at the start? Is Caleb Russell closing? Not really. Still a decent gap for Duvall to work with. Oh, but these are such long days in the shadows. And to not make any mistakes and to not focus on the rider behind you, just try to put in your laps out front. I think it's easy when you're Caleb Russell and you've done it week in and week out. But if you're Duvall and you want this first win of the season so badly, sometimes that very thought gets in your mind. Where is he? Can I do it? Is today the day? Look at Jordan Ashburn's pace. Beautiful. Coming through the trees, sprinting away from that Ricky Russell, Stu Baylor battle for fourth and fifth. Could he log his first podium of the season? The very friendly kid out of Tennessee. 9:16.46. Those are his results at the first 4 rounds. So a big improvement today, trying to get his first top 3. Baylor has now gotten around Ricky Russell, so Russell the quick start, but not able to maintain the pace. What about Bad Thad? Can he maintain it out front?
GNCC is Bald Eagles, 50 cal, cowboy boots, diesel trucks, Copenhagen, Bush Light kind of men.
Evans waterless coolant is the solution to boiling over, so you can push your vehicle like this, and this, and this, without fearing the temperature gauge. Evans waterless coolant. Defeat the heat.
Hey guys, I'm Tim Geiser riding for Honda Garibaldi Racing Team, and we are using Evans cooling, and you know, like, I know that when I use that products, I know that my bike never will overheat, so I'm really happy with it.
Are you looking for a dirt bike piston that can increase power and decrease blow-by? Then check out Wiseco's all-new Racer Elite piston line. Racer Elite has been used exclusively by the pros, including RCH, Yoshimura, Suzuki Factory Racing, and are now accessible to the public. Available for popular 250 and 450cc dirt bikes, the Racer Elite series is the first off-the-shelf asymmetrical power sports piston ever made. Its fully machined billet aluminum construction features an exclusive custom lap top ring. Step up with dyno-proven power gains with Wiseco's Racer Elite piston line.
Well, on Saturday and Sunday afternoons, that's where the pros race in Grand National Cross Country. But Saturday and Sunday morning, that's where we groom the next generation with help from their families.
I look for it a lot because it's just, I have a blast here. Just the people around you and the tracks are fun, and there are normally fun things to do here. I'd like to be the next Bryson Neal. Well, I've known Bryson for a while. My dad's done work with him, and so he's just kind of one of my role models. My mom and my sister are at home right now. It's pretty cool because like he's a whole lot looser with just us boys. Don't tell Mom.
And Jace Cooper fourth in the 8-12 limited ATV class yesterday morning. Bryson Neal, one of our top ATV pros. Thad Duvall's dad was actually one of our top ATV pros, should I say, back in his day. Won a lot of races overall, but Thad liked the bikes better and became a superstar on two wheels. Caleb Russell's dad, a former national enduro champ on two wheels. So two second-generation racers battling for the lead today. Stu Baylor up to third, so he has gotten around the beta rider, Jordan Ashburn. Let's see if Stu could put in a charge and try to maybe get in on the battle for the lead. Jesse Grom out of New Jersey, your new leader in XC2, so it looked like it could be the day for Lane Michael, but he has gotten past. But Michael's certainly not out of it. Plenty of time for him to come back. And Michael does a lot of his training with his good buddy Caleb Russell, so you know he's going to be strong. Uh-oh, though, here comes Thompson third. The man who has won all the races so far this year is up to speed now. Looks like a three-rider battle developing in XC2. What about XC1? Was that the front fender of Caleb Russell getting into the picture? Yes, it is. So Russell has worked all day long to get close to Duvall, and I think it's going to be the last lap. And to give you an idea just how tough these guys are, Caleb Russell, from our race in Florida, our opener, showed his heart rate data monitor on Instagram. He averaged a 184 heart rate for 3 hours, which a lot of people would say is not even possible to do. So that's how hard these two are pushing each other physically, and it's all paying off for Russell down the stretch. He's got a line to the inside, and he takes it over in a big bump. Oh, Duvall's not going to be happy about that at all. Now Russell has to pit, almost gets run into by Duvall. A splash of gas could prove costly for Russell. Duvall is gone. He did not stop. Now Duvall with his famous bridge that goes right through the center of the Moree Family Sports Reserve. A variety of uses for this place throughout the year, and dirt bike and ATV riding just one of them. So here's Thad Duvall's chance to run and hide. The splash of gas really costing Caleb Russell. Is the win streak about to come to an end today? Stay tuned.
Are you looking for a dirt bike piston that can increase power and decrease blow-by? Then check out Wiseco's all-new Racer Elite piston line. Racer Elite has been used exclusively by the pros, including RCH, Yoshimura, Suzuki Factory Racing, and are now accessible to the public. Available for popular 250 and 450cc dirt bikes, the Racer Elite series is the first off-the-shelf asymmetrical power sports piston ever made. Its fully machined billet aluminum construction features an exclusive custom lap top ring. Step up with dyno-proven power gains with Wiseco's Racer Elite piston line.
We handle your races, your jumps, and your trails. Isn't it time you give your daily driver the same love? AMSOIL's Signature Series Synthetic Motor Oil delivers 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard. AMSOIL also offers a full family of ATV, UTV lubricants, giving you above and beyond fortification for your weekday and weekend vehicles. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Even when you're the best, you never stop striving to be better. The all-new from the ground up 2018 Yamaha YZ450F is now available at LoJack Cycle Sales. With over 40 years of experience in motorcycle sales and service and 15 national championships, we know racing. So stop by LoJack Cycle Sales today in Tarentum, Pennsylvania, and visit our online inventory at www.lojacks.com. Yamaha YZs. It's why we ride.
Over the river and through the woods, the newest Polaris models are here for the holidays. Take home great deals on the world's best-selling side-by-sides and ATVs during the Polaris Holiday Sales Event.
The GNCC series on the NBC Sports Network is brought to you by AMSOIL. Protect your weekend. Rocky Mountain ATV MC, get ready. And by Maxxis Tires. Keeps you riding to your maximum potential.
Stretch run here. South Carolina. Thad Duvall is taking all the risks right now, hanging it out, trying to outpace Caleb Russell. And by the way, Russell stopped for fuel before this last lap. Duvall did not. Their bikes are pretty similar. They're both 350s. So what does Duvall's team know? Do they know they've got better gas mileage? Or are they just taking a chance that they're going to get to the finish line? Either way, Russell hustling to try to catch up. We're going to go back to that XC2 battle. Jesse Grom and Lane Michael have been dueling, and they're down. They're down in a heap. They've been so close all day. Michael on the white machine, the orange is Grom, and Grom gets up more quickly. Michael's got to have fire. Oh, and now we've got the third place rider top right there, a three-rider showdown. Huge mistake again. Legs off the pegs for Michael. Something has gone wrong for him. He cannot get back up to pace. So now Jesse Grom is the one that lies between Josh Toth and 5 straight wins to start the year in our 250 class. As for Michael, man, the steam has come out. The wind out of the sails, any other cliche you want. Caleb Russell, the new leader in XC1. Duvall is letting it all hang out to try to catch back up. But you also have to wonder about the gas situation. Duvall is still close, just like he has been every week. And a nice line here to try to put the pressure back on Russell. But there's not much time left in this race. That was the 4-mile mark we hear where Caleb Russell made the move. Here's Stu Baylor mired in lap traffic and in third, looking for another podium. He has been very consistent this year after winning the season opener. But Caleb Russell doing what he does best these days. Even on the days where he's not dominant, he figures out a way to make it work. And that has to be so frustrating for Duvall. This time he had the start, he had the pit strategy. Uh-oh, there's a problem. His bike has come to a stop. No, wait, he's got a little something left. I've got to imagine he's out of gas. Watch him over this jump. Ordinarily, you'd think any sort of bike problem is possible, but when you skip the pits in the last lap and your main competitor doesn't, and you can see he quickly went into defeat mode. He has to know that he's out of fuel. Here comes Russell to the finish. So a double heartbreak for Duvall, losing the lead and maybe second place. Is he still going? And here comes Duvall, so they got gas back in it. Must have given him a splash out on the track. But the rules say you have to gas in the pro pit area if you're in one of the pro classes. So there might be a penalty coming if you're Duvall. Well, you take the penalty. Okay, more gas now coming. But if the alternative is being stuck completely on the track and not finishing, you'll take this. Where's third? Baylor is going to come close. A little bit of woods remain. I don't know if Baylor can get all the way to Duvall and steal second. but the drama has been left behind, and Caleb Russell is still on top in the AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Series. Well, Duval threw everything he had at it. The good start, the sprint laps, good pace in the woods, and even pit strategy, and still not able to solve the riddle that is Caleb Russell. And Russell went down to Florida last summer to up his training program. I think a lot of people wondered, why does he even need to do that? He's been dominating the series, but the fitness bailed him out today. Here is Stu Baylor going to finish up in third, continuing to prove it is no fluke this year. He is a contender, scoring solid points every week. Ricky Russell fourth. Josh Strang, nice job, gets the finish at least today. Here's your winner.
Got an okay start. I think I was like fourth, and then I made a couple mistakes, and those guys are really going for it in the dust in the field, and I wasn't too comfortable straight away, and took me, a good lap to get like in the groove, and then by that time Thad already had like 15-20 seconds, and he kept just nickeling and diming me here and there, and I just kept plugging away and didn't give up, and I caught him down the stretch there going into the last lap, and I made the pass, and I ended up having a pit, and then next thing I know, I caught back up, and I made a pass on him out in the woods, and next thing I know, I seen a pit board, he ran out of gas. So dude's riding really good. Got my work cut out for me, but it makes it fun and keeps it interesting. Everybody has a good time, and makes for a really exciting day. So I had a good time. It was a tough race. It was a pretty fun track here and there, some spots, but like I said, Thad's riding really well and keeping me on my game for sure.
Well, he certainly was, getting off to that early lead. This deep sand, though, gets terrible gas mileage, and here he runs out in the last lap while in second. Now, he got gassed up on the track. He crosses the line in the number 2 spot, but actually was penalized for that. So Duval credited with third, Stu Baylor second, Caleb Russell still on top, and Josh Toth got it done, a nail-biter in XC2. He keeps his perfect season alive. He's 5 for 5. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching here on NBCSN.